What's up, nice people? Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to all of the people around the world watching this video. I hope you are having a good day. So, today we are going to talk about a command which I find very fascinating and very useful in my daily workflow, whether it is work or whether it is content creation that I do. Also, I'm making this video for the new users who are new to Linux and are basically scared of the terminal. And I just want all of you to know that terminal is a very useful tool which you can find on the Linux. And today I'll show you why it is there. And there are some commands which will make your life a little bit easier daily and how you will become a power user like everyone else who are using Linux. So let's start it with a example. So let's open your terminal and let's just say you want to see the content of some file. Let me just go to the directory which have some files present which I've been working on recently and just list the commands here. So here you can see that I have some XML files and text files here. So suppose I want to see the content of the first one, Bazite VM XML, and I will just name the file along with the cat command, which we generally do to see the content of the file. So here you can see when I press enter, all of the content is dumped on the terminal and I'll need to scroll up a bit to see the content. And also highlighting is not there as we do have in the IDEs that we use for whether it is high level languages or markup languages. So this is one of the XML file, and as you know, we have some text there, some attributes with its values, but they are not just highlighted. So the readability is not there. And also the line numbers are missing. Also can specify this and an option with the cat command and pipe it through to the less, which will add a pager so that I can scroll up and down a bit and see the content of the file. So here you can see we have the line numbers here, as well as we can just scroll up and down a bit to see the content. But obviously the syntax highlighting is still not there. What if I told you there is another command just like cat? So let's just type this cat command and just type in the name of the file. So by default, it has three features that it will highlight your syntax just like mine based on the format of the file. So it is XML. So it has already highlighted based on the pre-configuration that it has. And also it has the line numbers present here. And also you can see that it has added a pager so that you can scroll up and down a bit. So this is one of the examples that I wanted to talk about to you, but there are n number of use cases that we can see related to this bat command, which I find very interesting and very, very useful in my daily workflow. So yes, today we are going to talk about the bat command, which is a clone of the cat command. And of course, it has wings, just like the bat. I don't know if there is a Batman out there, but he will be definitely happy after seeing this bat command named after him. So let's just scroll down a bit. Let's just see what it has written here. Bat command is supporting syntax highlighting for a large number of programming and markup languages. I read about it somewhere that it supports around total of 200 programming and markup languages for syntax highlighting, which is pretty much a high number because most probably your language which you use for your workflows, it would already be there. Let's just scroll down a bit. You can use it to create a new file just like this. It's pretty much similar to the cat command. I'm not going to talk about this because they are the simple ones. Okay, here we go. So it has a good integration with other advanced command like the file fuzzy finder command, which is used to basically fuzzy find any of the file in n number of files that you are present on the system. So let me just open terminal again, clear it up, and let's just type. Let me just get out of here. So we are in the home directory. Let's just type fzf and just press enter. So it has all of the files here and you can simply search for the file with its name. Suppose I want to search for the Bazite file again. And here we go. We have it present in the project kvm folder. So it is a very powerful command, I would say. Now, if I want to see the content of this file, I cannot see it here currently. Now, let me just quit it and open the fzf command here with the preview command. So in preview, we can basically see the content of the file. So here we can basically use the traditional cat command here and just put all of the output of the file through this cat command. Let's just press enter and search for the file again. And here we go. You can see that we have the content present here for the file, and we can just see simply by just scrolling up and down. But obviously the highlighting of the syntax is not there. So what if we use the bat command instead of cat command here? Let's just quickly quit it again, and let's just copy this command so that we can see all of the content. So here you can see that I have specified the bat command with the preview command, and we have specified its color attribute so that it would always highlight the color for the content of the file, as well as we have specified the line range so that if we want to see the first 500 lines of the file that we are searching for, we can do it. Let's just reduce the number a bit because my file was not that much big. Let's just say we are doing it 20 and just press enter. And let's just search for the file again. So here we go. We have the highlighted content of the file, of the Bezite file, and we can see that the 20 lines of this are highlighted here. So isn't it amazing? This, I find it very fascinating and very useful if I am searching for n number of files in my system and I want to search for some piece of code in particular type of files. So we can use this bat command, which will make our life very easy. Similar to this, we have different number of commands which works great with the bat commands. That's why we say the Batman of this Linux universe command. Okay, so it can also be used with the find command and fd command, which is another alternate for the find command. Okay, so let's just move to the different type of bat commands, which is named as bat extras, which I find very useful in my daily workflow. Suppose if you want to search for the some string in the multiple number of files, you usually use grab command, but there is also a lib grab command, which is very powerful. It is similar to the grab command, but it is very fast. So let me just give you an example for this. So let's just go to the project kvm directory again and list the files here, and let's just type in whether vmxml. So let's just say I want to search for this particular tag, that is virtual CPU pin, vCPU pin. So let's just copy this and close this. Okay, so we can use the libgrab command to search for that particular tag in my current directory. So let's just do libgrab and I option for ignoring the case of the string and just paste it here. So it will search for the files which have this particular tag present. So here we go. We have two files, Bezite vmxml as well as cachy vmxml, which had this particular tag. And as you can see, it has also specified the line numbers which had this particular tag and the content of the line. It is great, but something is great doesn't mean that it cannot be better. So let's just use the bat grab command, which is a little bit better than this one. So let's just say grab and ignore the case similar to the libgrab and specify the string here that you want to search and press enter. And here we go. We have similar kind of structure, but a little bit better, I would say. So we have two files again, which had the content, and also you can see that it has specified the line numbers as well as it has specified the above two lines along with the content and below two lines along with the content, as well as it has the text highlighted, which I find very readable and very useful for my flow. So this is one of the trick, I would say, which is directly present in this bat grab command, and I find it very useful. Let's just close this again. Okay, here we go. Now we have a little Batman command. I would say this is very interesting, and Batman would be very happy. Okay, so this is another command which is a replacement for the usual man command, which is used to see the manual pages for the different commands on your Linux system. So we can use this Batman command as well, which would highlight the syntax in your man pages. So suppose if you want to use the pacman command to maybe let's say pacman, which is a package manager for the arch system, as I'm using cachyos here. So let's just press enter, and here we go. We have pretty good looking highlighted man pages for this, and it is pretty good, and I would suggest you to use this as well. It is very good. Close this. And also there was one other command. Okay, here we go. So suppose if you want to see the content of the file and you want to compare it with another one, so you can use the diff command, which we generally use for comparing the difference between two files. So let's just say we want to see the difference between the Bazite as well as cachyos VM configuration. Let's just press enter, and here we go. We have the highlighted content here. So again, we will need to scroll up and down just like this to see the difference in the content. And here we go. We have, if you already know that, what does this mean? It means that this line has been deleted and this line has been added, which is basically showing the difference in between the two files. What if I show you a little bit better way using the bat diff command? So let's just do the bat diff and the name of the files. Press enter, and here we go. We have pretty much good looking and very similar to what we find in the GitHub pages, just like this, that this line has been deleted and this line has been added, along with the highlighted text that will help you understand the differences a little bit more as compared to the diff file. And also you can scroll down and scroll up to see the content of the file, which is very handy. So these were all of the examples, and obviously there are other commands as well which you can basically use with the bat command. Bat command is just like the potato of this universe. You can use to make it any type of vegetable, any type of command, I would say, and I find it very handy. So I would like to request to all of the new Linux users who are watching this to start using the terminal in your day-to-day Linux life, whether it is game, whether it is programming, and you will find yourself doing pretty much great things, and it would make your workflow a little bit easier. And you would not be scared anymore once you know how powerful the terminal is. So that would be all for this video. I would request to all of you who enjoyed this video to hit the like button as well as subscribe the channel to find more content just like this. Until then, let's just say our goodbyes and hope you're having a good day. So let's just meet in the next one. Until then, goodbye and donk.